Hi everyone. The Arts Council have reopened applications for the National Lottery Project Grants Fund as of the 22nd of July 2020. There's been a slight change in the criteria and eligibility and process of these applications due to the current situations, and we thought we'd just make a quick video to summarise all those changes for you so you can see exactly what they are. This is not a how to do an Arts Council application video or an introduction to Arts Council applications. We're hoping to run a workshop very soon, which would be an introduction to Arts Council applications. We're ironing out the details of that, and we're hoping to be able to announce it very soon on our Facebook and Twitter, so keep an eye out for that information. Until then, this video is just to summarise the changes to people who already understand the application process or have done it before. Now, the eligibility and preference of applications has shifted very slightly due to the current situations, and what the Arts Council is saying is that they understand that the context applicants to the project grants will be working in is very different in the post-COVID-19 world. They say we will be taking the current context into consideration when we make our decisions, and we expect that the type of applications we receive will reflect the changed circumstances. So they know that things are different currently than they would have been last year, or they might be next year, and this is coming into account with the rules and the criteria and the eligibility. They're really aware they're going to get a lot of applications, and so what they're suggesting to people is that their preference for projects that they will be most likely to fund should fall within one of these 5 categories. So these categories are applications from individual creative practitioners, including time to think and plan projects, research and development activity, organisational development activity, live activity that can be safely delivered within this period of time, rather than something with a start date far in the future, and activity that closely aligns with their equality objectives. Now, you can read their equality objectives on their website, which I will link in the description down below, and you can also find out all of this information I'm talking about today and much more about project grant applications there as well. How is this money getting distributed? How is the funding getting split up? Well, individual creative practitioners can apply, as well as organisations. Now, historically, the success rate of funding from project grants tends to favour organisations. That's mainly because individuals have the opportunity to apply for different pots of money depending on what they're doing. For example, there is the Developing Your Creative Practice Fund, which is all about training and developing and research. Now, that fund isn't currently available to individuals, and the Arts Council know that. So what they're saying is, because those individuals will be migrating into project funding, they are making a commitment to ensure that the success rate of individual applications is at least the same as the success rate of organisational applications. It might even be that individual applications are more successful or have a higher success rate than organisational applications, and that is something they are setting out right from the start that they are committing to. It's important to say right now that you don't need to rush. The Arts Council application process for the Project Grants Fund will be open until April 2021. That's a long amount of time, and the Arts Council are committing to making sure that they manage the budget properly so that money will be available throughout this process. They're not going to spend it all in July and August to the immediate applications that get put in the next 4 weeks. This means that actually it might be better for you to wait and to work on your application and to really finesse it and finalise it and put it in a month or 2 months or even in the new year, if you can wait that long, because there might be less competition for funding at that point, and because the Arts Council is stating now they are definitely spreading the money over time, it might be better to sort of wait a little bit and put the application in slightly later so that you are less saturated in the amount of people that you are up against when your applications are being read and considered. Now, the criteria for applications remains unchanged. It's still the 4 criteria that have always been in place for project funding. However, the Arts Council know that the way this criteria is approached is going to be different. They know that the information you provide to answers to the questions in the form might feel different during this period of time. They know that they need to assess and make decisions based on answers that acknowledge the flexibility and openness that will be required in the challenging times ahead. So what they're saying is they're not going to be super strict in the way they approach this criteria, although the criteria remain unchanged, and they're open to creative interpretations. Let's talk about that in context. So these are the 4 criteria for applications: quality, public engagement, management, and funding. Now let's take public engagement. The Arts Council are fully aware that a project right now cannot have the same level of public engagement as it would have done in a pre-COVID setting. It's just impossible with social distancing. So they're saying that they acknowledge that public engagement for a live event will be smaller groups of individuals, or that public engagement for a project might entirely be online or mostly be digital. They're also saying for research and development applications, whether they come from organisations or individuals, the public engagement section of that application will be an opportunity to explain how the work you are going to undertake will improve your public engagement in the future with COVID taken into account. Now, in terms of management, as well as managing the project, they are expecting you to be able to manage the COVID safety of your project. And they say that they will want you to make sure that you are having contingency planning for situational changes due to the ongoing nature of the current world we live in. For example, being prepared for local lockdowns. Now, they stress that you will not be eligible for funding unless you are able to demonstrate that your project falls within the UK government guidance on COVID-19. In terms of finance, they are removing the minimum requirement for 10% match funding. As always, funding will only be provided to cover project costs, so you can't put in any backdated costs or any costs for projects or losses that didn't happen due to the crisis. This is only for project-related costs. Now, there have also been changes made to the way that libraries and museums can apply for funding and what funding they can apply for, but I'm not going to go into details of that in this video. If you would like me to go into details of that in another video, please let me know in the comments below, or send us a message or a tweet, or on Facebook you can leave us a message there as well, and we will look into making a video about that for sure. And that's it really. Those are the changes that have been made to the criteria and to the process due to the current situation. I hope this video has been useful for you, and if you'd like to see more content like this from March for the Arts, give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, comment below, and also you can find us on the other social medias that exist out there as well. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.